Right, guys, tickets are still on sale for my tour. We're going all over the gaff. I'm talking Cambridge, Derby, Manchester, Liverpool, Southend. We're going everywhere. We've also just announced some dates in Dublin, Belfast and Cambridge, all right? All me Irish gals, you're welcome. And maybe we're doing some dates in London. You think I forgot? Come on now. So make sure you go and buy tickets now. Otherwise, you're going to miss out and you're going to be a big loser. God bless. Welcome back to another episode of Saving Grace. Today, we have got the queen of comedy. It's Katherine Ryan. Woo!
Thank you, Grace.
I've been trying to get you on this chaise long for a hot minute. I'm so glad you're here.
Well, I've been around a hot minute.
You have been.
I love that the young children are sort of aware of who I am a little bit. But I feel like I'll be your least popular guest because I'm learning about all these young like travelers and those sisters who are really beautiful from Love Island.
Oh,
like I don't know people until I see them on your podcast.
And then you're like, that's them. Yeah. Well, you are the best guest. When I was at uni, I would always be stoned and I would always watch your, were you on a panel show or your stand-up? So it's really mental to have you here and I'm not stoned.
I didn't know British kids got stoned.
We do. Yeah, we do. Well, yeah.
Have you ever been stoned in Canada?
I've never been to Canada.
Oh, please come. You would love it.
Really? I've heard apparently Canadian people are just really, really nice. It's like a thing. They're really nice.
I'm the meanest one we got. And that's why.
Yeah, that's why you're here. Yeah.
But I feel like I've never smoked cannabis in this country. And I was quite a nerd back home. But my friends would partake. And it's totally legal. You can get it in shops and things. But it's very good for you almost in a way where it's mixed here with
spice.
Yeah. And I just don't want you guys doing that.
No, and that's when I went to LA, because it's legal in LA, I thought this will be the same as England. So I picked up one of those joints from the shop. I couldn't speak a word for about 12 hours.
And they judge you for alcohol in LA. Violet, my daughter, and I used to stay at this beautiful Four Seasons hotel in Beverly Hills.
Well, of course.
And I'd go down in the morning because she'd be jet lagged and ready to swim at like 5 a.m. And everybody's really healthy and they'll have a spliff and a green juice. And I was doing well. I was recording my Netflix specials and I was like, can I please have a champagne by the pool? And they'd be like, she's got a problem. Meanwhile, they're all on mushrooms. I'd be like, just
different
breakfast.
type of problems. That's like Singapore. I went to Singapore, right? It was 4 p.m, which I would say is actually late to start drinking when you're traveling. I went to the bar and I said, can I please have a bottle of wine? And they were like, we don't start serving till 6. And I thought, who on earth is waiting till 6 when they're flying?
Yeah, no, that's not appropriate.
If I'm getting on a flight, I need to not remember the flight.
I know.
Is my go-to there. Pop a Xanax, have a bottle of champagne, and I'm ready for the flight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not Singapore. You're Singa-rich, bitch.
I'm getting that tattooed on my arse. Yeah. That is a bit of me.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, what a way to start. Also, Violet's here. She's in the background. Hey.
I feel like it's important for me to come with my PR.
Of course.
Your biggest fan. Maybe not. You've got many big fans.
Oh, no. I would say you're up there and I love it.
I think it's really toxic when people in romantic relationships, I don't know if anyone's ever said this to you.
I'm ready.
They go, no one will love you as much as I do. And you go, you don't know that. I am universally beloved, actually.
Yeah.
So I don't mean to assume that Violet is the person who will love you the most, but she loves you like the max that she has.
Do you sometimes think, Ella, you do love me. This is no one can see what's happening right now behind the scenes, but Noodle looks like a demon. But there could be people out there with shrines of me. Yeah. You don't know. You've
not been arrested for your love yet.
Yeah. No, you haven't been arrested yet. But that would be quite hot, I think, if you did get arrested for loving me that much. I think I'd quite enjoy that, actually. Thank you. Nothing to say. She's just hugging the dog. This is my life now. You've got 3 dogs, am I right?
4 financially, but one of them lives with an ex.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you had to give it up in custody?
I didn't have to, but like that dog was a misogynist and she preferred him. But he's Singapore, so I do absorb the vet.
Yeah. Do you pay for the vet bill?
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's a shame. Do you even get to see the dog?
I don't mind. I know that she's happy. She really does love him.
Okay.
She's old and expensive.
I just want to talk about the mix of names. You've got Manny, you've got Meg, and then you've got Cardi B. What happened with Cardi B?
Well,
Why did the change happen there?
do you like Cardi B, the entertainer?
I do, actually. I do. I think she's quite iconic. Yeah.
I have mixed feelings these days, and I don't want to judge a woman for her heteronormativity,
Hear you.
but it's gone awry. Like, I have watched her be disrespected by the
that
father
man
of her children.
Yeah, yeah.
Again and again, and in so many new and inventive ways. But when she first came out, sort of pre-lockdown,
Yeah.
when we adopted Cardi B,
Okay.
who's Cardi we on some days, depending on
Yeah.
her behavior.
Yeah.
I loved, like, I felt this call to arms by the like, oh, grrr, and I was like, I love this woman. She was so disruptive.
Yeah.
Really big on social.
Release that album.
But did it in a new way. Like, I am not of the generation where any of us were big on socials. And Cardi was just so authentically herself and outspoken, and I loved it. And then I loved her music.
Yeah.
And this is when white women could still kind of playfully rap
Yeah.
without too much judgment.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen any videos of me rapping.
You were quite good at rapping.
I feel that my freestyle is not bad, but I've had to pull it back just out of
Just in
basic
case.
respect.
Yeah. I also used to rap at uni when drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'd watch it back and be like, I have to die. Because that's done a lot for my reputation there. Yeah.
And it's fair enough. And I have learned, on a serious note, that even if you think you're doing something celebratory, to fetishize a Black woman's strength is to deny her care and vulnerability.
Yeah.
Which is a bigger issue. And so I've had to stop. But I've
had to stop.
The poodle during a time when I really believed I could be the next Cardi B.
Was Cardi B.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like maybe have you got chains for Cardi B? Like, does she walk around with chains or you dress her up?
She does. She is iced out. She looks good, and she's Black, so it's appropriate.
Yeah. It's completely appropriate. How did you start comedy then? Because obviously you weren't doing it when social media was, because now it's so easy. Respectfully, it's easy. It's not easy.
A real slam.
That was
shade.
I fucked up. And I'll admit I fucked up there. It's easier than it was back in the day. Did you start doing comedy clubs? And how did you know you were funny?
Well, no, it's like a different world.
Yeah.
How old are you exactly?
25, and I'm 26 in August.
So I was your age when my daughter Violet was born.
Wow.
No, I
wouldn't trust myself.
25-year-old teen mom. And now I'll be 42 probably when this goes out.
Wow.
Days away from 42. So it's like a whole different world. I worked at Hooters. I went to the Playboy Mansion.
Iconic.
We had this idea of feminism that was very much in the male gaze.
Yeah.
I had breast implants. I had it all. And then I thought the best thing that you could be was pretty and that you would have the easiest life.
Yeah.
But I had this sense of humor that would get me in trouble in those settings.
Yeah.
Like Hugh Hefner's not really looking for like
He's not looking for a stand-up.
an eccentric A cup.
Yeah.
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 So as they're known. So then there was a comedy club next to the Hooters, and I didn't think I was necessarily funny, but I liked comedy.
Yeah.
I was drawn to comedy. I liked comedians. So I just did it like an activity. The same way you'd go rock climbing.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, let's go check out this new restaurant. I was like, I'm going to do amateur night stand up 5 minutes once a week.
Oh my God.
Just for fun. And then I started to meet a community there.
Right.
With whom I had like a kinship and a nice rapport.
Yeah.
It was kind of the queer community there because
Of course.
to be a woman, you were alternative in comedy in the early 2000s. We're talking.
They weren't really doing it, were they? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So then I moved to the UK and just started to get paid to do it. Like accidentally, people liked me. But I think that's because I sound funny. I'm from somewhere else.
You have a different accent.
Yeah. And I talked about celebrity stuff and pop culture stuff and the Kardashians early when people were like, nobody knows who they are. Like the UK was still not as, you were celeb focused, but in like a Katie Price tabloid way.
Yeah.
But I was talking about like music and I've always been like, I'll talk about Taylor Swift and Beyonce and things.
Yeah. It's funny because you've had a different way into a lot of a lot of comedians start because they were so horrifically either unconventionally, not ugly, but they weren't good looking. They were either bullied, blah, blah, and they had to be funny. Whereas you worked at Hooters, which by the way, it's kind of my dream.
They would love to have you, but they are on the verge of bankruptcy.
They're on if I wish I could work at Hooters back in like 2002.
Do you know what we should?
I was 2.
Because, well, It would have been a problematic.
Yes, it
like
would
a
have been.
baby gap version.
Yeah, I could do that.
I just had an epiphany because I've wanted to work with you for so long. I admire you. I think you're beautiful. I think you're funny. I think you're all the things, very talented. I feel so blessed that my daughter opens my eyes up to these young ingenues. But for ages, I've thought, like, I worked at Hooters for a reason.
Yeah.
Beyond, like, at one point I was making $1,000 a night.
Is it?
I was a very good waitress, and we were super busy.
I bet you were. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
But I spent that mostly on the breast implants. And then I thought, I could write a sitcom about Hooters, kind of like a 90s, like return to whatever. You could play me.
And what I will say is I will get a boob job for the sitcom.
Okay. That was
for
not
you. No, I will.
Contract. Okay.
I will happily, because currently it's just nipple. So I don't know if I could pass, but I will do that. I think I'd thrive. And I like the little bum shorts, the orange, the owl eyes. I just think it's all a bit of fun. I remember I went to America to visit my dad. I was like 8, and we went past a Hooters, and it was like going past like I don't know what a holy place is, like a big holy place, but it was like that. And I remember looking at the girls like, wow, I think that's when I clocked I was gay.
Yeah, I had the same reaction, but not like of arousal, just like, because it is a cultural beacon, you know.
It is.
Like, I know what that is, and it's flirty and it's fun and it's being a cheerleader. In this country, they think it's being an exotic dancer or like sex work or something.
Oh no,
absolutely not.
No,
like,
no.
We would hula hoop.
Oh,
just when we're not busy.
Is that part of the job? You have to know how to hula hoop to get the. Okay,
you do.
I've hit another wall
a
here.
roadblock. Okay,
I'll practice for the sitcom, and then we can probably get down to filming, I reckon. Yeah, that's mad. And then you went to the Playboy Mansion.
Yes, not through Hooters, just randomly.
Did a Hooters day out.
There were drawbacks to being a young woman born in the 80s, but there were also
pros.
They're like blonde, young, get on a flight. Like they would just love to have you there.
I had Crystal Hefner on the pod.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was insane to hear about her life.
I think she's gone back and forth on it.
Yeah, she didn't have a great time.
No.
Is what I will say.
No.
However, quite iconic. I don't know if I can say that, but it was quite iconic back in the day. Being a Playboy bunny, that was so cool back in the day.
Because it will never happen again.
No, thank God. But yeah, thank God we've moved on. But yeah, I feel like that's quite like an iconic thing to say. I feel like you've lived a life.
I have, like a dodgy one.
But that's the best kind of life. Like, so when I'm 80 and they go, what have you done? And I'll be like, I lived in a jungle, but apart from that, I stayed in bed with Ella for most of my 20s.
Explaining the jungle to a generation that doesn't have it will be difficult for you.
If you haven't done it?
No.
Would you do it?
No.
Right. Why?
Well, I think it's great for certain people. Like there's a mainstream audience, old people like me, who might not have had the luxury of a teenager to expose them to like your brilliance. So that's cool. But I don't think I could bring myself to eat the things and to live like that and to be hot and to maybe have bugs near me. Yeah. And also to be away from my many children for that long.
But what I will say is this is how I see you in the jungle. Rolled up shorts. You're making it your own. Bit of Katie Price vibe. Like, you know how she did when she went in there. That's how I see it. And then you can just leave. You could go in for a day, make it work, then leave.
Like Gemma Collins.
Like Gemma Collins. She just wanted a ham sandwich and a Diet Coke. And I completely understood her in that moment.
She's like, I was in there for 6 days.
Was she even in there? I don't even think she was in there for that long.
Well, it looked like 2 on camera, but she says it was 6 days.
It was 6 days, yeah. That was a really good impression.
If I do a British accent, it does come out
Gemma Collins.
A little bit like.
Oh.
How do I do it? I'll be like, I'm trying to do it without doing celebrity impressions because I don't want to offend anybody. That's how I learn.
Yeah. You just do celeb.
Yeah.
Do you just watch Towie? And
I used to.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an iconic British thing.
I like the glamour Mado accent.
Yeah.
And then I did Cheryl Nay Tweedy.
Oh, of course.
For a while and I stopped.
Yeah.
I just got to stop being mean to people because I love them. I'm not actually taking the piss out of anyone, but I forget people are more sensitive than I am.
No, but I think sometimes they're more sensitive because it's a woman doing it.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah, I do. I think if a man does like some sort of impression, everyone thinks it's really funny. But as soon as a woman does it, they're like, and this is what is wrong with women. You know, you're just putting others down, blah, blah. And I think that's probably why.
Just bullying me.
Yeah, you need to put on like a short wig or something and say you're a man, and then you can probably get away with it.
Slowly becoming more like a man all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the manliest thing you do? Don't say piss standing up.
I wish I could do that.
So do I.
Well, I have a very alpha job. So do you.
Yeah.
There's something manly about what we do.
It's true. It's true.
We're the only ones allowed to talk sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm just getting like more square. My body is getting more masculine. I'm learning from my girlfriends who have perimenopause, which I don't. I'm still like having babies. But they get beards. And they get like their estrogen goes down, and then they get rage from somewhere.
I've heard of a hair on the chin.
And they stink and they sweat, and I'm worried about that.
You've instilled a new fear, and I've got a long way to that, but it's not something to look forward to. We get all the shit things as well. Like, why do we, when we stop having periods, then have to become demons?
Demons, and women would be put in asylums for that.
Yeah,
like
my mum was close.
Institutionalized.
My mum was very close. I remember that whole, I said, my mum's turned into a bitch. Like, what's happened? And then she slowly calmed down. But I thought, wow.
And you know what's really sad is if you have children at the like sort of that age is shifting, but the average age to become a mother, then you are hitting perimenopause when your daughter's hitting puberty, and you become instant adversaries.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you just blow up. And I think that is nature's way of like easing the broken heart when, oh, look how old I am. I just do hearts like this. And not
I do hearts like this as well. But this feels complicated, to be honest with you. There we go.
A whisper away from a gang sign. And I feel comfortable.
Yeah, we're getting the bloods involved, and I don't really want to. Yeah. I kind of agree with that, though.
Yeah.
Because my mum had me when she was older. So when I was a teen, scary.
Okay.
Scary times.
The beard came out.
Violet, I feel like this is something that you're going to have to look forward to at some point.
No.
No?
I will be leapfrogging menopause. Thank you. I will have access to HRT, the best drugs. Why do you think I'm having all these babies? So they can harvest their placentas and inject their stem cells into my brain.
Did you ever do anything with the placenta business?
I did everything.
Did you notice a difference? No. Okay.
I think it might be a scam, but maybe not.
I'd like to do it pill form. Pretend I'm at Glastonbury after giving birth. That's how I'd kind of want to do it.
You can get gummies.
That feels disgusting.
Oh.
Because you're chewing.
Okay.
That's where I draw the line, I reckon.
So where do you draw the line on placenta? Would you ever be granola enough to like plant it with a tree in your garden, or cook it on the stove yourself, make it into a smoothie?
What I would probably do I think I would not like to see it. I'd like someone to deal with that. Yeah. And then give it back to me, because me frying it up like a sausage, I don't know if I'd then be able to eat it.
Fair.
But I think, because I just want to know what the benefits were. Because once I had a drip, and drips are meant to be amazing for you. Felt knackered.
Okay.
It did the opposite to me. So that's what I'm worried about. What if it turns me a bit upside down?
It's because you're too full of life still. You're 25.
I am.
You've got it all.
Yeah.
And if you put anything outside, vitamin, even a placenta, it's not going to do anything to you. Noodle will be there taking it off the stove.
It's so true. Noodle would eat my placenta, I think. And that's where we cross paths there.
Did you not have a placenta when you gave birth to Noodle?
No, I did. I chucked that one away because it was quite traumatic with all the fluff and everything. But no, actually, do dogs get placentas? Yeah.
I'm sure they do. They're mammals.
I
don't know, though. That's a great question. I like the way your mind works all of the time.
Yeah. I feel like maybe this is actually a topic we have to go on to just now, because I need your opinion. It's been really sitting on me. Kris Jenner's facelift. I think it's the best thing since sliced bread.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I know who did it.
Do you?
You know how much it costs?
Wow. How much
I know who else he's done.
How much did it cost? Just tell me.
On Kris, it might have been more. She might have had some additional things. But I believe I'm the first person in the world to publicly identify her surgeon.
I love my life.
I knew who it was. And then it was confirmed by her reps. And I felt like, here it comes.
You knew.
And sometimes I hate the way I am because I don't want to alienate myself from a surgeon like that. Maybe he didn't want me to say. Maybe he wanted to keep it on the DL.
I would want to be recognized for that work.
He's already busy. He's not really on social.
Yeah. Oh.
He is, but he's not active. And it's a red flag when a surgeon is very active on socials. How do you have time to be like Snapchatting my filleted asshole when you're also doing facelift? Do you know the ones I'm talking about?
You're so, like on TikTok, I see them all the time. Yeah, they're doing trends and I'm like, Go and cut someone open.
Why are you doing the whisk?
Yeah. Yeah.
When I've got I'm like catheterized with my tits out on an operating table. Like, focus, please. So I had a consultation with this man in Manhattan, and I heard through like the Jewish Broadway grapevine,
Yep.
to which I am connected,
Of course.
that it is Dr. Stephen Levine.
Good name.
I am not 100% sure because, of course, these doctors are very discreet. They would
Yeah.
never say their client list. But I think some of the best facelifts that we're seeing in Hollywood now
Wow, it's from him.
are Dr. Stephen Levine. And that includes men.
Oh.
Maybe Demi Moore. Maybe the Bradleys.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, maybe even Anne Hathaway. Maybe someone as young as Lindsay Lohan. That's unconfirmed, though.
Yeah.
But I've seen this beautiful style, and it's a mix of science and artistry. And when I had a consultation with him, he showed me before and afters of non-famous consenting people to show. And he just does something that the others don't. So the price is different for everyone.
Okay. He definitely racked it up a bit for Kris.
I would.
She's got money.
And she probably wanted to not be on a wait list, to get in, to get out.
Yes, you're right. Yeah,
She
you're
might
right.
have had a CO2 laser. For me, the quote was $174,000.
Okay.
And I am
Okay.
42, so I mean...
That's a 1-bedroom house in Nottingham.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I needed to know, just for my own personal research.
Would you get a facelift?
I will get a facelift.
Okay. So will I.
Okay.
Yeah. When I reach a certain age, when I start looking like those dogs.
27.
Yeah, next year.
No.
When I reach a certain age, I reckon, yeah, it's getting fucking lifted up. But I think it's mad that, is she like 70? I don't want to.
is.
She's 70. That
year.
woman genuinely looks 30.
You like it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think it looks in like one of the best things I have ever seen in my life. And I don't know what that recovery process looked like, but let it be.
Recovery's fine.
Really?
I got my mom a facelift for her birthday.
Lovely
Which is
present.
tricky.
Yeah,
Tricky sell.
it's kind of insulting, but also fair enough. Yeah.
She wanted one. I know my mom. She's one of us.
Yeah.
And, she looked beautiful. Like day one, she looked good.
Really?
Bit of swelling days like 2 to 12. And then she looked good again. And she was going out. Now, she wasn't under scrutiny being like papped.
Yeah.
But she looked good. And she couldn't feel her face. She was medicated,
Oh,
which some would say is the best part.
the best part.
She was fine.
Mm.
And what I love about you saying, Grace, that you would be open to having a facelift is I think we can tell that you don't have body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
You're really confident. You have many attributes. And I think there are people who look at plastic surgery, cosmetic, tweakments, anything, and they feel sad. And they're like, there are more important things in life. We know. She should love herself more. I do.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of like razzle dazzle.
It's a bit of extra oomph.
It's fun.
And they all go, you're doing it for Met, but are we? Because I feel like when I look in the mirror and I look quite good, I'm like, thank you very much. Yeah, that's what I needed. I don't really care if a bricklayer whistles at me.
Those are the funniest comments when men will try to be allies.
Yeah.
And they'll come in and they'll go, do you know, ladies, men don't actually want you to. And I go, up. Nothing that we do is for you at all. I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
I don't care if you live or die.
Exactly that. I just think, I don't know. I love a facelift. I've never had filler or anything though. It scares me a little bit.
It should. Because a lot of these facelift doctors are running into problems with filler.
Oh.
Because when my generation started getting filler, and I got it probably for the first time when I was 21, 22.
Wow.
But I was in North America. It was
of course,
normalized. I had to even out the breast implants architecturally. Then they told us it would just go away after 3 months. And now they see in MRIs, it doesn't. It migrates. It like fuses some of your tissue together. So when you do get the facelift, these surgeons are like squeezing it out. They run into problems. You have scar tissue from it. Filler is like not a joke. So you can still get it from the best practitioners only.
Don't get it in someone's shed who's also doing eyelashes is what I'd probably recommend to anyone.
I've seen a lot of that on this
I've
podcast.
seen some of them. Yeah. Have you seen that there is a new Real Housewives of London, and why aren't you on it?
Because I am the furthest thing from a housewife.
I know, but so am I, but I'd love to be on the show.
Well, maybe we could do a cameo.
We
We
could
hang
be
out in the right places.
those people in the back of a restaurant while they're fighting, having a bit of like avocado on toast, watching it. Do you like Real Housewives?
I love the franchise, yeah.
Do you? What's your favourite one?
Beverly Hills.
Of course.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I've never been into East Coast. Then they started coming out with cities that I didn't understand, like Potomac. I don't know.
Never heard of it. Yeah.
It feels like an imaginary town. They just needed a new one.
Absolutely.
I love Beverly Hills. I love the mess of like Sutton and Dorit, and I'm an Erica Jane
Kyle's
stan.
a lesbian, but she won't say she's a lesbian.
Why not?
I don't know why not. I don't know. We all know. We all know you're a lesbian.
Yeah.
Or at least bisexual.
Right.
Yeah, and that's fine. If anything, I think it would be great for the show to have a leser on there.
Well, they I think there is a leser on there, and we know it, and the right ones know it.
Yeah.
She's kind of been smart because the like queer allies, in
Yeah.
the queer community, we see it,
Yeah.
and then she doesn't alienate any like homophobic sponsorship because Donald Trump is over there. I don't know what kind of dinner parties she's going to, but maybe she's just not confident enough yet.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe she's...
Because internalized homophobia at a certain age especially is a real thing.
Yeah. We were having this discussion in the car. A lot of people don't like the gays. Or like if you say,
Name
that was a little bit... Name them. Name them.
Who are they?
Like say if I go to you, it's a little bit gay what you just did there. Some people's reactions, they'll be like, as if you've just said that they're like something horrific. Yeah. And it's like, oh, that felt a bit...
Really?
Yes. Yeah. When I think if I call someone gay, I feel like that's a little bit of a compliment.
I would take it that way.
Yeah, I would take it that way.
Sometimes people's husbands will take photos of me with their wife and they'll take it because they're men. They don't know how to take a photo of someone my age.
Yeah.
And I'll go, that's a homophobic
They're going
angle.
low. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And they raise it up and they go, a what? Like they don't like to be called homophobes either, which is good.
Right. So it's neither then. They just don't want to be associated with any of it. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I'm confused as to how like anyone could see that from you
Yeah.
as anything but a compliment.
No, I know. I do. That is my compliment. If I called you, have you ever been a lesbian?
No. And I don't understand why not.
Why? You kind of give me
I know.
the vibes that you would have made like...
I do have the mommy energy. It's giving a
Yeah,
little
you
bit
do.
of X-Files,
You
but not the
do.
full. I know.
That surprises me. That's kind of a shame.
There's still time.
There is still time. You're married?
The good news is my husband's ex was a lesbian,
Oh, no.
dabbled with my husband, back to lesbian.
Oh,
So
That's
I'm
quite-
hoping maybe he likes lesbians.
I don't know how a man takes that. I don't know if that's,
I think without revealing too much about someone that I don't know, he describes, and I've actually heard many men who've dated lesbians.
right.
Or I suppose bisexual women,
Yeah.
but mostly lesbians because they go straight back and they're horrified with themselves, as anyone should be
Yeah.
who's had sex with a man.
Yes.
Like it's really inappropriate for any of us.
horrible. Yeah.
Why would we do it? There's so many, yeah. But she had some internalized angst, I think, about dating a man. Like she didn't respect herself. She was like, oh, I'm a lesbian.
Hate that
How
I'm
did
doing this.
happen?"
Yeah. Jesus.
And when that happens, they go back hard to lesbian and get married like immediately.
That's funny that he did a full one. So, because you were dating him and then you left and then you came back to him. And I can't even imagine your face when he was like, I did date a lesbian in between this whole situation. I feel like you'd been like, right.
No, I'd already been like very well associated with like the queer community and E&M this and poly that and non-binary that. So like,
What
he's
is
not my
E&M?
first ethical non-monogamy.
Okay.
I've not participated. I am as vanilla as they come.
Me too. Yeah.
Good. But you and I, we're from a different time. I feel like you belonged in the 90s maybe.
Thank you. I actually, even though I was born in 99, so I will genuinely say I'm a 90s baby.
You are in a way.
Technically, I wasn't there, but I will claim to be there.
You very, very well suit the 90s. You really do.
We need to bring it back. It won't be the same, but we need to bring it back because flat asses were a thing in the 90s. I'm extremely upset it's not a thing currently.
Fat asses?
Flat.
Oh, flat. I was going to say.
Yeah, no, fat asses are in, flat asses are out.
Right.
Which has been actually quite a big issue.
You
for
feel
me.
that yours is flat.
It's extremely, I'm like a door. If Ella spanks me, it sounds like a laptop closing.
Well, thank God, though, you haven't gone the way of, because, some of that work has been proven to be quite dangerous. You are just your true self, waiting to get back to the 90s.
Yes.
And there's a lot of authenticity in that.
If you could go back to any time, what would you go back to?
Nothing. I did enjoy the 90s like you did.
Yes.
I had fun.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would be thriving now as a 42-year-old woman in the 90s.
In the 90s.
I think there was a glass ceiling and I hit it with Hooters.
Yeah.
And women were for decoration.
Yes.
And I was the right age at the right time. I grew up without socials. I grew up without smartphones.
And thank God. Could you imagine some of the nights out you probably had if people had phones?
Some of the opinions I had, if I was publishing those on TikTok,
Yeah.
I would not exist today.
We've all been there and we've all had to learn. So I hear that. Who's the most famous person you've met? Because I feel like you've really lived a life, apart from Jimmy Carr.
Yeah, I love Jimmy Carr, and it's only through him that I meet the famous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I met Monica Lewinsky at his house, not for any Oval Office reason.
Yeah.
Do you think that your demographic knows Monica Lewinsky?
I would say so. If not, try someone younger.
Okay. Well, she is very important for them to know, though.
Yeah, of course.
Because she was, I would call it today, sexually abused by the president of the United States at the time, a very powerful married man, the most powerful man arguably in the world.
Yeah.
And she was a 23-year-old intern, and we slut shamed her in your favorite era. And she was in like Eminem rap music. Her name, Lewinsky, became like
it was a thing.
Synonymous with blowjobs. And we were like, what a slag. Like the attitude, even my attitude as a young child, I was like, that whore.
Yeah.
And you look back on it now and you're like, the president of the United States abused his position of power with a 23-year-old intern. Yeah. Anyway, she has ascended to this place of teaching, and she speaks all the time about kind of being the first ever internet bullied person. Her parents would make her shower with the door open because they didn't know what she was going to do. Like it was a dark place for her.
Wow.
And now she speaks, and she's just so impressive and articulate and amazing.
I'd say that's like an iconic one to have met.
And I met JoJo Siwa, if you want to go younger.
What?
When she was like JoJo with the Bobo.
Stop it now.
Young JoJo Siwa.
How did you meet her?
We were both on a breakfast television show in America.
Wow. That'd be the place to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know one thing that keeps cropping up is making me laugh? I just did a show with a few people and they were like, one thing about Jimmy Carr is whenever you go to his house or his parties, there is the most random selection of famous people there ever. He has so many different friends.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So I am going to turn up to his house.
Well, you won't, because now that he's had the children.
That does put a spanner in
He doesn't have the parties anymore.
Oh, you're joking, really?
We've grown up and it's so sad. I hate those children. No, they're sweet. But we're all the same. Like, this is why you need to be unapologetically enjoying your life.
Right.
Go to the party. Stay out late at the thing. Don't
have
do
some
anything
buzz
dangerous.
balls.
Get the cherry tattoo by the labes. Do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Because we all kind of... And Jimmy's still very popular. Like, he's friends with, Dave Chappelle. He's friends with Chris Rock. He's friends
insane.
With Stephen Hawking before he passed. You see like Brandon Flowers at his house. He's very beloved.
Did Stephen come to the parties?
Stephen came to the party.
Really? I'd have been hitching a ride. That's fair.
I tried.
I bet you did. And that's actually fair enough.
Yeah.
If we're going to be honest here.
I like an intelligent man.
So I like it. Yeah, I don't think you can get any more intelligent than Stephen Hawking, can you?
He's too intelligent.
Who's that bloke that was doing Last One Laughing? Have you watched it?
Yes, I love it.
Are you gonna...
I think you have a much better chance of being on it than I do.
I don't believe that.
True.
Would you do it though?
I don't think I'm allowed because I'm not British.
That surely not.
Yeah, because they do have different territory ones. They did an Irish one of Irish
You
people.
are technically British though. Like you have earned your citizenship. And I think you would be great on there because I cannot see you laughing.
Oh.
As in,
because of all the Botox.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I medically can't laugh. I'm like Richard Ayoade.
That's who I was saying. He's very smart. Yeah. But I feel like you'd be quite hard in a situation like that to make laugh.
I think all comedians are hard to make laugh because even if you say something funny, I would go, that's funny. That's how we behave with each other. We go, that's funny.
That was
and we
good,
think, and then we get angry that
you didn't think of that first. Yeah. And I feel like that's a comedian's worst nightmare is being on a stage and no one laughing at what you're doing. That would send me, I mean, we've all been there, but that would send me into an oblivion.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know what would your thing be that you do on stage?
You get used to it. In the little sections on LOL. I think it would have to be very artistic. You wouldn't just be able to stand there and do stand-up. Your peers will not laugh at you.
They don't care. Yeah.
So you'd have to think of some art piece, do something really odd. That's why Bob Mortimer did so well in The House. He's so alternative.
Yeah.
Joe Wilkinson. I would really think long and hard about it. And I might draw from my many interests.
Right.
There might be some hula hooping that you would see.
With a Hooters top on.
Dance, musical theater, perhaps.
Oh.
You have to destabilize
Right.
the audience, surprise them.
You've really thought about that, actually. Like, you've gone quite, like, I was like, I'll probably just name different words for a fanny and see which one, like, they laugh at.
But that would work sometimes.
Sometimes. Depends what the cast is,
Yeah.
doesn't it? I'm not being funny. I just think.
You'll get your chance. That show's really like Taskmaster. Have you done Taskmaster?
No one.
haven't.
I wanted to do 8 out of 10 cats. They won't have me. I want to do Taskmaster. They won't have me. I've done The Weakest Link. It's not a funny show.
No.
And I was first out. So it was. I flew to Glasgow for 5 minutes, basically. And they sent me to go and get crab and lobster. They were like, your flight literally isn't till like 8 hours, so we're going to send you off to eat because you've gone so quick.
Well, you made a splash on the last leg. I know that. And I have been in television a long time. And the commissioners really struggle with taking non-TV people and putting them on TV. And if they had been able to successfully do that sooner, we would not be witnessing the slow death of television.
Yeah.
So if they had only found you sooner or given you those opportunities sooner, you could have saved television.
I've been begging for years. I have to say, I've been begging. And Last Leg was really funny. I was really drunk on Last Leg.
Yeah.
Really drunk. Because they give you a bottle of Prosecco in your dressing room before you go on.
That's to take home, yeah.
Yes. And that part I didn't get. I was like, how nice pre-drinks. And then when I got on there, I was like, I can't see.
Was it chilled, Grace?
No.
Okay.
The thing is, when you're from England, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I've got a, one of my questions is, in your comedy, you've been criticised for making dick jokes.
Yeah.
Which I find quite funny. What's the best dick joke that you have?
Oh, well, my daughter is here.
Sorry. I think she's used to this. She's nodding.
Specifically about dicks.
Yeah.
Currently, I talk about, I used to have a joke about sucking dicks, and that was only that there were, just because I want to be transparent. You know, I'm not going to act like you're not here. Like, I know, I'm sorry, and I'm giving you an out.
If you need,
not that I participated in a lot of that in my life, but just really toxic men. I would hear, and sometimes when I'm talking about myself, I am talking about my friends, but I like, she's on her phone now, good. She's just downloading a previous podcast of yours that I'm not
listen.
Guys would be like, look at me with your pretty face. And I always found that so disgusting. And then this is early stand-up, I was probably your age.
Yeah.
And I'd go, this is not my pretty face. This is my putting on mascara face.
Oh, yeah. With your mouth.
And I would do like physical comedy. And then people would laugh. And I go, my face looks a lot prettier with your dick not in it. And so that was like specifically about a dick. But that was early.
Yeah.
And then now in my tour, I talk about the fact that men having sex, period, just is ridiculous. Because women of fertile age have many follicles, and most, but not all of those follicles will contain an egg. And a week into the month, the follicles get together.
Yeah.
Bit of women's health and a bit. And they nominate one candidate. We've only got the energy for the best and the brightest. Denise, this month, it's all on you.
It's all on you.
And we release just one egg usually.
Yeah.
24 hours, one night only. That's responsible. We know where Denise is. We keep her with us all the time.
Yeah.
And then we have men who spaff into the wind, and it'll be 400 million of their children into a stranger's eyelashes, and there's like no quality control.
Oh, yeah.
But I really feel this way. So my bits now are less about shocking people and doing like physical comedy, like pretending I'm sucking someone off, and more about like, are men okay? Like, what are they?
No.
They'll have like two-headed sperm swimming the wrong way. They don't care. They're like, I'll make more of you tomorrow. They just come.
Yeah.
And I would, like, if ladies shot out 1 million eggs every time they had sex.
It would be terrifying, actually.
Imagine?
The population would be insane, is what I would say to that. Do you like touring, or do you, because you tour for a long time. Comedians will do like 2-year tours. Yeah. I'm doing a month and want to die. Like, I don't know how you do that.
Where are you going on tour?
Everywhere in the UK.
In a month?
In a month, yeah. Yeah, I like to cram it. Whoa. And then I don't have to do it for another year. Yeah, thank you. But you really go for a long time. Like, do you drink on tour? Like, what is your vibe?
I'm usually pregnant on tour.
Yeah.
So I drink, but not heavily. And then, I like it and I don't like it. I love it. I see it as the privilege that it is, but it's a long time away. Like I've been on tour for 10 months. I come back and forth though.
Okay, fine.
So I was in Bristol last night.
Oh.
I'm in London today. I'm in Bristol, I think, again tomorrow. I'm in Wales tomorrow. And then, I don't know. And then I was in Amsterdam and Canada the week before. So it's a lot, but sometimes I bring the children. Sometimes I don't.
I kind of love that though.
But I have to like pay the mortgage and I know that there's a day that people might stop coming to see me. So
you need to lap it up while.
You just need to. And it's fun. And comedy's a conversation. I think you have to get out to the towns and cities.
Have you ever had a show where you were like, that was one of the worst things of my life? Because I feel like everyone has one that stands with them for life.
Do you know Frankie Boyle?
Yes.
I love Frankie Boyle. I opened for him, not on tour, but just at a corporate.
Love that.
And it was a Christmas party.
Oh.
At lunch, I looked out and it was...
Tough crowd.
Oh, God. It was men, like corporate finance men in Christmas jumpers who were like pissed at 11 a.m. And I needed to open for Frankie Boyle. This was probably 10 years ago.
Wow.
And I became the only thing standing in between them and a good time. And they were fucking livid at Christmas.
Yeah. And that's tough to do.
And back then I thought that you couldn't bail on your time. So you know, as a comedian, if you go on stage, they expect 45 minutes sometimes, which is a lot if you're not doing well. 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
This was 20 minutes. And today, if I had a gig go that badly, I would just leave.
Just
I'd
sack it off, yeah.
Do you know what? Sorry. But I really was resilient and I stood there and I did every second of my 20 minutes. I would not leave.
Oh my God.
Because I needed to get paid.
That's awful.
Yeah, it was bad for everyone.
Yeah, no, my time's going to come and I know it will, but
so you haven't.
I've had a show that's gone awfully because the crowd were like blackout drunk, paralytic. One girl's tried to fight me on stage, but really good for the solo pod after. But it was more like that. And it was really scary. And I had Gemma Collins to my left and a girl trying to fight me to my right. It was so much going on. Yeah.
How did the girl who's trying to fight you get so close enough?
I invited her up on the stage as part of my bit, but she knew she was coming on, so she pre-drank because she was nervous. Fair. But then I was like, oh, it's time to get off the stage now. And then she was like, no. And I was like, no, but seriously, it's time to go. And she was like, no, like you fucking want some, like squaring up to me. And by the way, no one came to help from my crew. They left me to die. And then finally she got off the stage because the audience started booing her. But I thought, this is insane. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Lesson learned for the forthcoming tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ban the bar is what I'm going to say there.
You'll have security this time.
Yeah, I'm going to have security. That is insane.
I'm sorry.
But I also want to talk about your new podcast, What's My Age Again?
Okay.
We had a little dabble before the pod. So you do little prick of the finger. Is it before?
Before, yes, because we have to take blood. People are so desperate to be on podcasts these days.
Yeah, they will give blood.
They will give blood.
Yep.
We take semen analysis as well. No.
Oh,
just
I was like, right.
We will need a semen sample.
Yeah.
No, just blood. And then we send it off to this lab in Europe and it's called glycanage, and they test really the inflammation levels.
Oh my God.
And from that, they get a biological age. So how old your cells are on the inside. And that can be based on just genetics, but also lifestyle, stress, how you've been treating yourself. And that's an indication of not how old you are, but how old your
body.
Cellular
yeah.
level.
I'm going to be 84.
Maybe.
I think. What was yours?
Mine's bad. Mine's 77.
Shit. Yeah.
But that's because I have lupus and I've had a lot of pregnancies. I'm not
that's
caning it.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, I think that you are selling yourself short. You're only 25. I think your biological age is probably like 7.5.
Oh.
Because I think you live relatively clean. You'll have a bottle of Prosecco before the last leg, sure.
Sure.
But I think that cellularly you can metabolize that. You got your head on straight. You've got a pet. You've got a partner.
Yeah.
You've got things to like de-stress you. You speak your mind, which is good for you.
Yeah, until the cancellation happens. But for now, it is good.
Yes.
It is good so far. Yeah, maybe I will be young.
You are. You will. There's no way.
Yeah.
I would love to have you on if you're biological age.
Get me on. You might need to put me under for the pinprick, but apart from that, I'll do it.
And the semen analysis.
And the semen, I will lack in that, unfortunately, which is my issue. Have you ever had a guest on that it was actually quite worrying? their result.
Me. Mine's the highest that we've had.
Oh, really?
We've got Katie Price coming up, which I'm excited about.
That's going to be iconic.
It will surprise you that elite athletes test older than they actually are.
It's because they're running about all the fucking time.
That's it. They don't have enough time for recovery, especially female elite athletes.
Ella, it's not looking good for you.
No.
It's not looking good for you. Yeah.
Do you have injuries, Ella? So you'll be riddled with inflammation.
Oh, we can't have that.
But what's exciting about the podcast for people who want, because this is, I think, the new trend is we are moving away, like you said, from fillers and all of these things. We're going, oh, maybe not. And people are thinking about youth and not just being young, but feeling young and having energy from the inside out. They're taking better care of themselves. I love that trend.
Yeah, that's a good one to follow.
It is reversible. So even if you've lived, like we have had actual cocaine addicts on the show.
Brilliant.
Who speak about their rock and roll days.
Wow.
And now they're running marathons and they're young. They have young biological ages because your body's amazing like
Catherine, please don't get me started on marathons. Have you ever done one?
Tell me you're against marathons.
I hate marathons. I think, what the fuck are you doing?
Same.
What point are you trying to prove?
I know. Trying to raise awareness for cancer. We've heard of it, Stephen. Sit the fuck down. We know that a middle-aged man panics and he needs to know he can be 26 miles away from home on foot at any given moment.
It's just so extreme. I just think as well, like if you want to run. But then it's now a new thing. I heard Rob Beckett saying this. It's not just running the marathon. It's now what time you ran it. How long you've done it for. Shin splints, that doesn't sound fun. Lycra, not good for anyone.
No.
Specifically men. And I just think, it's scary. And they have these vests that they wear now.
Yeah.
Would you do one?
Never. I wouldn't. I don't respect the medium.
Yeah.
I think it's wild.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hate the begging for money because I don't care more about Parkinson's because you ran until your nipples bled.
Yes.
I don't care. Tell me about be like, my uncle has Parkinson's. I'll be like, shit.
Yeah.
People ask me for money for nothing. People be like, can I please have this money? And I give it to them.
Yeah.
If they're friends and family.
Of course, yeah.
But I don't go, if someone goes, look, my son has to have this surgery, I'll be like, how far are you prepared to bike? What?
You have to earn the money. Yeah.
I hate marathons.
Yeah. I would just donate.
Yeah.
Like, I would just, if there's a cause that I'm like, this is pretty shit, I'll get a bit drunk and donate.
Same.
I'm not gonna skydive. Have you ever skydived?
No.
Yeah, that's completely fair. Apparently breast implants can pop during a skydive, so I wouldn't even fucking bother for you. But it's meant to be quite dangerous.
Oh, what? Jumping out of a plane and free falling to the ground?
Yes, which I know is crazy.
Yeah.
But no, it's meant to be fucked. I did a bungee jump once. I nearly died. It was awful. It's vicious, nasty, horrible, and I would never wish that on even my worst enemy.
And you get adrenaline purely from your job, I bet.
I get adrenaline leaving the house.
Yeah.
That's like my level of jumping out of a plane, going to the stop and go. I'm like, having to communicate with people. It's the same level. I don't need to do that.
You and I are more alike than maybe you thought going into this episode.
Have you had a midlife crisis though? Like what?
Not yet.
Really? You haven't?
I look forward to it.
You're not really midlife yet, to be honest with you.
I would cheat on my husband. I told him the other day. I think he deserves it. And I wish that I could, but I'm too lazy to be fucked with.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of planning that goes on with that. And it's a lot of faff and a lot of sneakiness. It's just quite boring. But maybe, the midlife crisis could be cheating. I don't know. I don't know what my midlife crisis would be. Have you watched Open House?
No.
Catherine? And I'm sorry, Violet, for what is about to leave my mouth. But actually, by the sounds of it, you're used to it. You go to this house, couples go to this house, and it's full of people who are polyamorous.
Okay.
Yeah? They want to open their relationship, but they're too scared. First episode, there's a 15-strong orgy. The other one, they're inviting someone for a threesome. There's a man crying in the corner because he wasn't ready to see his girlfriend like that, but it was his idea. It is one of the most cinematic pieces that I have ever seen on telly. When you go home tonight, watch it.
Where?
Channel 4.
Of course.
Sponsor me. Of course, Virgin Island, all of this is always on Channel 4. They're saving telly. But you need to go home, watch season 3, episode 1. And tell me what you think.
Season 3. You want me to leapfrog straight to season 3 of Open House?
1 and 2, faff. Season 3.
I feel like season 1 is going to be vaginal sex.
Yeah.
Season 2 is oral. You've recommended season 3 to me. I'm going to be crying in the corner like the
there
husband.
was this bloke, right? He wanted to open his relationship, and the girl, you could tell she was like, I'm doing it because I love him and he's cheated before. Cool.
Oh no.
So she's doing all that. So they separate for the night, and he's like, you go off with someone, I'll go off with someone. She didn't go off with anyone. He slept with 6 girls in a yacht, or whatever it's called, a yurt, a tent. It was incredible. And then she cried when she found out.
That's so sad.
No, it's amazing.
Is there a celebrity presenter?
No.
Season 4.
Here we go.
Grace,
Here we go.
are.
Maybe we can tag team it. Let's double end it.
In the true format of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would only be I would love that. And I bet it stinks. That whole house.
Are people good looking on the show?
Comme si, comme ça.
Well, I think in real swinging,
Yeah.
people are quite ugly.
Well, of course. Apparently, that's why they wear masks.
Yeah.
At a lot of the sex
Mercifully.
parties. Yeah.
Put this back on.
I've never been, because I would be very, very out of my depths. I like to just sort of,
Starfish.
yeah,
Same.
and just have a good time with my wife. But I couldn't with multiple, no.
If I saw my husband approach another person
Yeah.
romantically.
Jail time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd skydive then.
I don't. Yeah, no, I don't think I could watch Ella. Even sometimes we're at a drive-through and she'll call the woman at the drive-through darling, and I'm like, what? Who are you talking to? Darling, that's insane. So yeah, just watching her even go near someone else's vaginal hole would completely send me off.
Are you talking to?
Yeah.
That's the podcast I want. You and Ella at the drive-through. Just having a fight while your Frappuccino melts.
Yeah. The chicken nuggets are now cold. Yeah, that's our life.
But
So
it is for some. It is for some.
yeah, but not for us.
And possibly not televised when...
No. And they leave nothing to the imagination. You tell me you're going to go home and watch it.
I mean, I've got a clear image of what Channel 4 is all about these days, and I'm going to watch it.
On your tour, you get people to send stuff in. Craziest thing you've ever been sent?
People send me dilemmas in the second section, which I would recommend for you.
Okay.
If you're padding out the tour. Some people have a support. It's a nice little item after my stand-up.
Lovely.
Where it's interactive and it's consent-based, because I'm
Okay.
not picking on anyone. They're texting
Sending
me.
it in. Nice.
Sometimes they're drinking and they might regret it.
Of course.
A lot of them are sexual. A lot of them are to do with cheating.
Yeah.
Really sad. There was a woman who sent me, I was in the Doncaster Gazette for this actually, because it went wrong.
Oh.
She said, I caught my husband fucking my sister on OnlyFans. I recognized his tattoos and her kitchen. Standard. And then she said, this is my way of letting him know he's caught. And I went, surely not. And then a very heavily tattooed man jumped up and just ran out of the theater, just bolted, because she had now humiliated him. Like, he did not know. I don't know how women hold on to this information.
How do you hold that in? Yeah.
Long enough to go to the dinner and turn up at the comedy show.
Yeah.
Like, how long
Oh
ago?
my God.
And he just went bright red and ran out because he didn't want to be confronted about it. He was humiliated. But then in 2025, we have to think about health and safety, mental health.
It's a shame.
I had to get security to like mobilize themselves. This is why you need security at your shows.
Right.
And chase him out of the theater and down the road to make sure he didn't like hurt himself or punch up a kebab shop. And then I was like, how are we going to get this woman home now? She can't call her sister for a lift. Like,
Well, of
she's
course.
stranded.
Yeah.
And then you're quite vulnerable in your relationship sometimes.
Oh,
break up
shit.
with a man like that. So I've been like checking in on her. She said she feels very liberated.
Yeah. Checking
I've been checking in. Are you alive
That's
tonight?
incredible.
It was
That
scary.
is amazing.
I mean, this is what people get from live comedy that you might not see on television because it's quite sanitized. We had to fill out a legal form because I was really concerned. I was like, what did we just do? Like, because you don't want to make fun of
This is why
someone.
you're a better person than me. I wouldn't even, my first thought would never be mental health. I would be like, this is going to pay the bills. This is incredible. Wow.
Oh, I was worried.
Well,
But then
they're
there's
all right.
sometimes they're fine. She's fine. She's happy with. I think some people do need support, and you will get that from a feminist Katherine Ryan audience on a Saturday
Of course,
night.
yeah.
So she's left him. She's not gone back.
She's gone out for drinks at, don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a lettuce after that,
That's
probably.
it. Slug and lettuce was hot. That
Yeah.
But then there was a woman who texted, Katherine, I'm 36 weeks pregnant and I nearly didn't make it to the show because I thought my waters had gone.
Right.
I thought that because my husband said it tasted funny, but I just pissed in his mouth. And I was like...
And that's where I draw the curtain and probably go home. I think that is one of the most insane things ever.
Yeah.
I like to end my podcast by asking my guests, what one bit of advice would you give to save grace? And that's me.
I think...
It can be anything.
I don't think you need saving. I've never thought that. I've been confused by the title.
It was either that or it was like one night stand or something. So we did go for the more religious version. Yeah.
I love your trajectory.
Thank you.
I think you are all of the things that a young woman should aspire to be.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that my daughter idolizes you so much. I think it's a good omen for the future.
Oh.
I would suggest perhaps cozying up to Elon Musk.
Okay.
Very involved in space travel.
Yes.
Who knows what else?
Yeah, you're right.
Biohacking.
Right.
I think he's the man who could not only give you the baby that you want, because he's just spaffing those out.
Yes, he is
left, right,
spaffing. Yeah.
He's like Boris Johnson if he acknowledged them all.
Yep.
He's like Stacey Solomon without the glue gun.
There we are.
But I believe that he could transport you back to be 25 years old
in the 90s.
In 1999.
Okay.
You will be there listening to Will Smith's Millennium.
Yeah.
Dancing on a rooftop.
Yeah.
And you will have the time of your life.
I think you're absolutely right. I'm going to be honest. That was actually very good advice.
You're welcome.
That's
I think it's achievable for you.
Yeah. I think we're going to go down that route. Anything you'd like to promote while you're here? Where can they watch your pod? Go for it.
I don't think they should. I just came here for selfish reasons. My tour's nearly finished. I hope to not tour again for a while.
Yeah.
If you never date a poor man, you'll never fall in love with one. Stay safe out there.
That was, yeah.
Stay away from Chris Hughes if you can.
And apart from
I'm speaking directly to J-Lo when I say this. No, I don't know. No, I don't do that on podcasts. I just come for the vibes.
Oh, what a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Just type a name in if you want and see what's there.
They'll spell it wrong.
Noodle's heavily breathing. It's putting me off. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
You've been incredible.
I really appreciate your time.
If you've been watching, give it a like, subscribe. And if you've been listening, give it a follow and a 5-star review. Bye.